Howdy neighbors, and welcome back to the Noya Mountain Music YouTube channel. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers and everyone who's been leaving comments and likes and shares and all that kind of stuff. Today, we are going to be aiming to help folks with the concept of reducing melody complexity. Okay, this can be a wonderful exercise and practical thing to do, especially when it comes to playing faster tempos. So, for instance, we're going to use three examples. We're going to use Soldier's Joy, we're going to use Shenandoah Valley Breakdown, and Lonesome Fiddle Blues, all which can have fairly notey arrangements, okay? All right, so let's take Soldier's Joy, for example. So Soldier's Joy can have a very notey arrangement. When you listen to a lot of the fiddles and the mandolins play it, something to the effect of this. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting exercise for us to walk through, because first we're going to be able to see a little window into how to identify what are the eighth notes, okay? So if we're slowing this whole arrangement down, you start to tap your foot, and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4, tapping on the quarter notes if you're counting the front beat, okay? So if you start to tap your foot on the eighth notes, and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4, you can't see my foot, but I'm going, and a tap, 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 tap on the eighth notes there. And you could identify what those notes are. All right, so we got and a tap, 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 tap. So basically it's starting on the downbeat, the open A, going to the open D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Those are our eighth notes if we're gonna get that out of. So you could have that as an arrangement, but it doesn't really reflect the tune as well because it doesn't have that F sharp note in there. You know, the notey version. So this is where we can use our brain a little bit, use a little bit of intuitive musicality, and put that F sharp note in there in one of the eighth notes. So it's something to the effect of this. So when you're doing the 16th notes, it's going by really fast. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 times you're playing that F sharp. If you just want to put that in the eighth notes, and this may be how some of y'all play the arrangement already, but we're just talking about how to break it down and streamline it for the efficiency of playing, you know, faster than maybe you're comfortable with your notey version. Okay, so if we're putting that one little F sharp in there, all the way down the D and back, that's going to play a lot faster than, you know, easier to do that, less notes. So we continue with the next line. So instead of going, again, you're simplifying. Third line, same as the first. All right, so thinking about our ending lick here, if you're doing the 16th notes, it might be like this. And a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4, tapping the eighth notes in there, be something like this. And a tap, 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 tap. So from there you got tap, 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 tap. So you got two F sharp notes, two E notes, and down to your little double stop there. So you could do it that way. Just doing your eighth notes, you know. And just adding your upstroke, which would work, but might be a little bit too simple, you know. So you could do something like it. And then adding your upstroke for the 16th notes. Which is how a lot of people play this, because it's a nice, efficient way to play it that you can get some speed on, okay? So that's our A part, taking it from extra notes in there. You get the idea, but just streamlining it. Think about the B part. But before we do, please like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little bell there for the notifications, and you'll get all the good stuff from Noya Mountain Music. Thank you. And please consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music. Okay, the B part a lot of times can sound like this with the notey version. So let's see if we can identify with our 8th note tap where those downstrokes are going to be, okay? So the whole idea in the beginning was that you're finding your 8th notes and then adding your 16th note just with the upstroke on the same note that you played the downstroke. Let's see if we can get our 8th note map for the B part. All right, something to the effect of like this. So let's use the 16th notes and do our tap thing, all right? And a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... So do that double tap. And a tap, 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 tap. All right, so let's get those notes right there. 1 and 2 and... So our 8th notes end up being 1 and 2 and... Let's do the next little line. So you got tap, 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 tap. So each one of those taps is going to be our 8th notes that we're going to get, okay? So we got the open E, tap, 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 tap. So you got tap, 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 tap. All right, you know. So if you wanted those notes, that'd be good. So taking it from the top. That would work, but it's not as musical as you want it to be. So you got to kind of engage your brain and see what you can derive from the G chord melodic part. All right, so we got the first part. You can just go, that would work just fine. Streamlining it, right? Third line, same as the first, and then, you know, what would our 16th note line be for the A part? Something like that. You streamline it. All right. So up to here, we got this. Adding your upstroke. Halfway through. And your ending lick. All right, so we have simplified all of this to this. Which will be a lot less work to play fast, okay? So let's just kind of play through our whole arrangement. Here we go. 1, 2, starting with the A. Even play that faster, you know. There's gonna be a lot less work and easier to do more cleanly then. A lot less work, you know. Really impossible for some folks to play that, you know, up to speed, especially folks newer to the mandolin and fiddle tunes and all that. But this is more approachable. Still playing the tune. So let's go to another song. Let's think about Shenandoah Valley Breakdown, which can be a very notey song. user-friendly way to think about this is to just hum it. And so if you're not gonna hum all this, just hum your eighth notes. Just thinking about where your down beats are gonna be. You can go through it, with a fine-tooth comb and think about every little downstroke of your complex arrangement. Down, 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 like that. But if you can get the grasp of just kind of humming through as a broad brush of the melody, dum dum bum 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 bum, so you're getting the most important notes. That'll help optimize your speed, and then just add your upstroke. Bum 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 bum. So instead of doing a really fast ending lick, or you can just walk down the scale, bum 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 bum, which will make it a lot easier to play fast. Let's think about the B part. You can play a lot of notes over the B part. But if you're just thinking about playing downstrokes, and adding your upstroke, a lot easier to play fast. And sometimes you'll naturally get the stagger technique where you're changing notes on an upstroke. Which is a great Monroe stylized way to do things, but sometimes that just kind of happens when you're trying to play the double eighth notes. It just kind of happens and it's easier to do it. You can play a little 16th note run here and there where it's easy, okay? But the whole idea is to optimize your playing for speed, okay? By taking out a bunch of the notes wherever you can, okay? So instead of going, just play your eighth notes. And then add your upstroke in there. And that'll help you with your speed. Like there, so you're not just going, but you can bounce, which is pretty efficient also. All right, let's do one more. Let's do Lonesome Fiddle Blues, okay? So our usual jam session melody is going to sound like something like this. Something like that. So let's think about how we can reduce that to just our eighth notes. Okay, so you're in the key of D minor now. So you go. Just walk that D minor scale up there. Instead of going. Just make it simple. You can kind of do that same thing in C. Again in D. Like instead of going, just walk it down the scale. All right, now think about adding your upstrokes. faster that way. Which may not be your ultimate goal, but if you're just trying to hang in jam sessions that are going quicker than you're comfortable with your complex arrangements, this is a way that you can simplify your 16th notes into 8th notes and have a much more practical arrangement. All right, so let's think about the B part for Lonesome Fiddle Blues. This is kind of like one of those melodies, like what is the melody? Of course, you could go to Vassar and check out his note for note stuff to find perhaps a definitive B part melody. But you can kind of get away with doing a little boogie woogie on the B part, which starts in G. So the chords in G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, and then back to the head. You know, so a little boogie woogie can go a long way. Something like that. So these are 8th notes, just downstrokes. Don't know the boogie woogie, that's a good thing to know. It's kind of based out of the arpeggio with the flat 7, you know, and the 6. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Those are not frets. The frets are open G, or open G, no. 4th fret of the G, open D, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then walk it back down to the 4th fret. That's your little boogie woogie in G. Which you can play with downstrokes or double the downstrokes for your 16th note texture. Boogie in D, which is the same thing, just shifted down one set of strings. All right, open D, 4th fret, open A, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, walk it down 2nd fret, open A, 4th fret. All right, so that's your G and your D. D. You do the same idea conceptually in E, starting on your 2nd fret of the D. It's going to be your 1 there for E. So you go 2, 6 on the D, and then over to the A string. 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 6. That's your boogie woogie in E. Just with downstrokes, and add your upstroke. Your boogie woogie in A. You know, maybe to there, and then you can walk it back up to get to your A part. Way to play the 8th notes, turn them into 16th notes. Okay, let's kind of take it from the top, see what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. Again. Boogie woogie in G. D. E. Walk it up. Of course, you can flavor to taste. The whole idea of this whole video is just kind of in our minds, thinking about how we can streamline our playing to reduce the complexity harmonically from 16th notes to 8th notes to make it easier on ourselves and our left hands in the coordination aspect. And then just adding your upstroke where it's easy, okay? So hope some of this idea, you know, land, and conceptually you're able to practice on these tunes and other tunes. It's just like a really good exercise. You can do it with vocal tunes, you can do it with you know, instrumentals. It's a wonderful practice that will help you hang in the jam sessions when the tempo threshold gets above where you're comfortable, all right? So once again, if you like the content, please like and subscribe, leave a little comment if you'd like to, and please consider being a Noya Mountain Music patron on patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music, and we appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.